It does bring me to the next question. How do you deal with disappointment? Because, for example, today I got news of a business opportunity, but without a financial profit. And I was visualizing, I was knowing, I had faith, I was already celebrating with champagne.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen.
Okay. It's not that it didn't happen.
Yes.
It's that it hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Go on.
But how do you release the fact that time got in the way and you might wanted it too quickly?
So time doesn't get in the way. You know what does get in the way?
No.
Vibration, right? So here's what you want to do. So disappointment is a negative emotion just like any other negative emotion. And that negative emotion is always fueled by a perspective. So every single negative emotion that we carry has an underlying perspective that's fueling it. So Abraham Hicks says emotions are our guidance system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most people think, okay, it's guiding me to just choose a better thought. But a more advanced or deeper way to look at it is saying, what is that thought that's creating this negative emotion? And if you can identify that thought and reframe it and shift yourself out of it, the negative emotion goes away. That's what we call the belief tree process. So if I ask you the question, what's the first thing that pops in your mind when I say, I feel disappointed because?
Because it didn't happen.
Okay.
As I planned.
Okay. I love that you added "as I planned" on the end of that.
Yeah, it popped up my head.
And I'm pretty sure that came from your inner being.
Yeah.
Right? So just because it didn't happen as I planned, does it still mean it wasn't the best possible outcome for you?
Probably. Only the future me knows, I think.
Only your inner being knows, because only your inner being sees it all, right? So Abraham Hicks doesn't say it's the path of no resistance. It's the path of least resistance, right? So two things. One, that circumstance happened the way it did because in some way you were a vibrational match to that outcome. Okay? But that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Because the reason that circumstance occurred was to show you something about your vibration that you're practicing so that you can shift that, have that expansion, and become an even better vibrational match to the outcome that you really want.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people, when they experience contrast like that, their mind automatically goes to, I screwed up, I did something wrong, my vibration wasn't at the right place, yada, yada. And it's never that, right? It's always, this is part of the story. This is part of the unfolding. And the more you can accept it, the more you can be okay with it, the more you can not push against it and look at that circumstance and say, okay, what part of me was responsible for this outcome? Right? Was it a belief that I was practicing? Was it an expectation? Was it a dominant negative emotion? Oh, it was a dominant negative emotion or a belief that things never work out for me. Okay, well, that's a good thing to clear, right? So then you clear it, you work through it, you have a mindset shift. Now you're a brand new person at a brand new vibration that's going to attract a different outcome. And there's no such thing as a closed door. So if your inner being can deliver an opportunity to you and that opportunity doesn't pan out the way you wanted it to, you never miss the boat. Your inner being has the ability to bring you 1,000 more of that opportunity.
So it's okay to let go of the need to be in control and breathe and let go.
Not only is it okay, but the outcome that your inner being will deliver to you from that vibration will be an outcome that exceeds your expectations.
All right. Interesting few days ahead.
How does that feel when I say that?
It feels good because it confirms this little voice in my head.
Yeah.
And I left today. So I think I was meant to hear this. Yeah.